First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you who commented on my last video. Thank you so much for all your help. We're kind of going to be running through pretty much all of your suggestions to try to figure out our boosting issue, which we've kind of narrowed down at least to an overboost situation. Now, a couple of you, specifically this guy, and our friend and the absolute man, myth, legend that is Rich Forsyth, suggested that we might have too tight our wastegate spring might be too tight. So what we're going to do today is we're going to adjust that spring and hopefully it works. Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to Shifting Lanes. My name's Chad. You find me once again inside my 2008 Volvo C30. Today we're going to take some of your suggestions, some of Rich Forsyth's suggestions, specifically as it pertains to our overboost situation. What we think might be causing our ECU to be freaking out and the car itself to be freaking out is that the wastegate spring might be too tight, basically causing effectively not limiting boost. The boost kind of runs away, gets way too high, the ECU freaks out, and the only thing it knows to do is to just electronically open the wastegate and dump boost. First thing we did was basically disassemble everything. When I say everything, I mean effectively our intake, so we could have access to the turbo itself. We also, while we were in there, we made sure that our TCV was plumbed correctly. Yes, don't worry about that. We actually put that back together. That was actually the check valve that was our original boost leak. So why do we think we're overboosting? Why do we think the overboost is happening now? Well, what I'm kind of thinking is effectively when I took the car in to have when we weren't making enough boost, when we had the leak or the issue with the check valve, the quick fix for whoever was working on the car was to effectively tighten that wastegate spring down to try to gain more boost. This is a trick you can do in some cars to kind of steal some free boost. Some cars, some older cars, will kind of learn. The ECU will learn with that, and you can steal a few pounds of PSI and make more power that way. Unfortunately, the C30 doesn't really work that way. So we had an overboost problem, so we're going to basically dive into that adjustment there and see what happens. Okay, so we have everything as disassembled as we in theory need to. This little arm here is what I was talking about before. We need to basically lengthen the rod. So basically you see our turbo there, our wastegates right here. We need to basically loosen the spring on the wastegate by moving that in that direction. We're going to go 4 turns to start lengthening it. Going to go for a ride, see what's going on. If it's not making enough boost, we're going to go back 2 turns. So after adjusting that spring, we took it out, like I said before, about 4 rotations, 4 full turns. We went out and took it for a drive. So obviously we're back in the car. Right now what we're doing at the moment is just kind of driving around, not really on boost, trying to give the computer a chance to kind of learn, short-term learn, or basically just kind of calibrate with all the sensors, make sure everything is as it should be. Once we're done with that, once we put in a few miles, we can, you know, put the hammer down and basically see if we're no longer overboosting and we're making boost the way we should, and then we can kind of fine-tune it after that. I'm going to do this in 3rd gear. That didn't go as planned. As you can see, our first pull wasn't exactly promising. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. We gave it another go. All right, that was us spinning the wheels in 2nd. This time, that was in 2nd gear. It actually kind of sort of made decent boost, but it would kind of come up and then die. And this was all on our aftermarket tune from Shark. And we gave it another go. So if I just mash throttle, it just stays at like 4 pounds. But if I kind of roll into it, it's weird. So yeah, everything was kind of under boosting, or not really getting to boost at all. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get it back in the shop. We're gonna try to tighten that wastegate spring, whatever you want to call it, adjuster, and then we're gonna try a couple more runs and see if we've kind of dialed it in, and really hope this fix it, because after that I'm kind of at a loss. So let's get back in there, give it a shot, and go from there. So we took it back into the shop, readjusted the wastegate spring. We actually brought it back 3 turns and went out and tried it again. We backed the rod off the spring a little bit, or I shouldn't say backed up, we actually tightened it a little bit more, and well, let's see what happens. It's making a little bit more, but not nearly enough. All right, so that didn't really do much of anything. So it's it is back to the drawing board. So so yeah, that was a really good idea that we yeah, didn't really accomplish much. After doing those pulls, I put the stock tune back into her, and it's more of the same. You know, if it makes boost, it'll go up, the ECU will freak out and immediately cut all boost. It's a pretty choppy ride. So that may not have accomplished, well, much of anything at all, but it did eliminate one possibility. So what I think next time I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a different TCV into the car, see if we can't isolate that as a potential issue. If that solves the issue, then we're good to go. I wish I had better news. Wish that little trick worked. It might work for you guys, so definitely if you're having some boost issues, check that out. But as for this one, yeah, we're pretty much done. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and smash that notification bell so you get all of the Shifting Lanes content as we release it. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at Shifting Lanes. Me personally, I'm at Chenedy83. If you want to help out the channel, there's a few ways you can do that. Chief among which is heading on down to the Teespring link below me and buying yourself some sweet merch. We got a bunch of stuff. We got S60R stuff, V70R stuff, of course, C30 stuff. We also have our awesome Hellwinkle shirts and hoodies and things of that nature. So if you want to help us out, go to the Teespring account, get yourself an awesome piece of swag, and then every dime we make from that, we put right back into our cars, into the channel for you guys. But we're eventually going to fix the C30. I hope. No, we're definitely going to get there. It just might be a longer road than we had hoped for. But I want to thank you again for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.